Going back to the 80 to 100K traditionally to make a film, can you break down like what that entails? Like where does that money go when you make a film like this?
Well, I mean, I think obviously the main cost is travel, right?
So do you pay for the guys to travel for the film?
It all depended. Like everything was different. Like, okay, here's a perfect scenario, right? With Snapt 3, we sent Asher Pacey and Bobby Martinez down the coast in Australia for 2 days. I paid the filmer $200 a day. They went for 2 days. So the whole trip cost me $400. They came back with the cover of Surfer and endless hours of what Bobby was claiming was the 2 best days of surfing in his whole life. And that's all the stuff with them on these lefts in Snapt 3.
Yeah.
So that trip alone costed $400. So you can roll the dice so many ways. And there's other trips like the one I'm talking about that we did to Mexico this year. I mean, we brought Minnie Blanchard with us.
Yep.
And, after all the costs and everything, I mean, it was more than 10 times what the trip was with Asher and Bobby.
Right.
So I think it all varies.
So with a trip like Asher and Bobby, just so I'm clear, and maybe the listeners are interested too, like they were using a ski, they had all their own boards, they're probably eating meat pies and drinking beers. That's all on the surfer. The surfer's picking up that. You're paying for the filmer.
Yeah, they hijack Kersey ski.
Okay, let's say.
They hijack Kersey ski.
Yeah, by hook or by crook, whatever works.
They went down the coast and they just hit the jackpot. It was going loony, and that was it. And it's one thing with Asher, but Bobby right now, just because he's such a hands-on dad and whatnot, to get Bobby down the coast and to score like that, and then for Bobby to come home too with the cover and all this footage, like it felt really good.
But as you said, it kind of averages out at the end.
Totally.
Where you're like, look, some things like you don't spend a lot, you get a lot in return. Sometimes you roll the dice and miss.
Totally.
And then in terms of that 80 to 100K going into like marketing or premieres, like does any of it kind of factor into that? Or are you leaning on like media and brand partners to support?
I mean, I would say the biggest portion for sure is the filmers.
Yep.
And then the travel. That alone right there is a lot. Because let's say a filmer's charging $500 a day, and you send them for a 10-day trip. That could be up to $3,000 to $5,000 just right there.
Yeah.
That's before his travel.
Yeah.
So
you're getting there, like the winds have changed. You're following the guy on Instagram stories. They're hammering beers. You're like, what happened?
Or, someone else ends up showing up, and then next thing you know, you deal with that whole scenario. It's just, it's all a roll of the dice.
I was going to say in the modern media age, is the biggest risk to making a film the potential of getting poached just because there's like other people that are there?
For sure. And I mean, and two, this is kind of a good story, and I'm guilty of that in one sense, but in Snapt 1, Taylor Steele, these guys were filming, it's No Can Do's, and it's going off, and Bruce is just going loony out there. And there was this guy that was poaching them in a small little dinghy that was from Costa Rica. Well, this is a couple months after the trip. I'm in a restaurant, Wishbone, and I'm with Ozzy Wright. And Ozzy was on that trip. He was out there. And this guy walks up to us, and he says, Ozzy Wright? And he says, yeah. He says, I have the most amazing footage of you at No Can Do's. And I look at him, and I'm like, you have what? And then I'm like, do you have footage of Bruce too? And he's like, I got it all. And so in the clips, you can see Taylor's filmer in the clips, and this guy's like further inside of them, so he's getting like kind of longer rides. He's getting more of the inside ball and all that stuff, and it was a huge come up. I mean, I felt bad too because it wasn't my trip.
Sure.
But back then, like I'm not a threat to Taylor Steele. Yeah. You know what I mean? And Bruce is someone I grew up with, so I figured like, I'm using this footage.
And how long ago Snapt 1? We're talking 20?
Well, we started making it 20 years ago from right now. It came out 19 years ago.
Right. And so the technological evolution in terms of being able to grab stuff right away, it's like, it's insane that happened 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was, and that was another one. That trip that footage cost me like $100.
Do you like that? Well, if so, subscribe over there and then watch more videos over there. And then tell us your favorite videos down there. It's a 3-step process. Do them all now.